with me. Today I thought I'd show you the makes that I have sewn in, let me see, November and October. I have 4 things to show you, and it's a mix between self-drafted patterns, and I think I have 1 or maybe 2 patterns in there, and then also an accessory. So let's get started. If I look over there, it's because I have notes there, so I'll remember everything I want to say. So the first make is this tiny sort of sailor's bag. Let me see, like this. And this came about because I've made a set of like a knickerbocker trousers, actually these trousers. And I also have a waistcoat to it, and then I had a lot of fabric over, and knowing me, I like to make something with all the fabric scraps, and so I made this bag. I've always wanted to have a bag that kind of reminds me a bit of like a traveler look, and especially if you're going to wear these type of trousers, if you go out, you want a bag that kind of matches that whole aesthetic, at least I do. So I don't know if you know those bags that are kind of like a leather cylinder that people back in the day used for maps and things. That was sort of the inspiration for this one. And so I basically just cut out a circle at the bottom and then a rectangle of fabric and then sewed them together. I do have some kind of like quilting padding here and to just give it some extra stability. And then at the top I did a casing for a drawstring like this, and it also has 2 little gold eyelets. And this amazing trim, I think, just makes the whole bag. Just have it like this, and sometimes I also have it across like this, and it's like a whole accessory in and of itself. I think it's super beautiful. And I got this trim actually a really long time ago, like probably in like 2014, from this Etsy shop called Sasuta, I think. I'll see if I can remember to link it down below. And originally I think it might be from Asia somewhere, or India. Well, it's in Asia. And I bought it to make a belt when I was really into sort of the whole bohemian trend, which I guess I'm still into, but I decided that I wasn't gonna wear that belt anymore, and so I took all the tassels off that I put on, and instead I made it into the strap. So I just put some of the corduroy on the back here as well. And then I also wanted to show you the inside. I think making bags is a perfect way to use your scrap pieces that you have. It's something I recently started doing just because I feel like none of the bags in the store really match my style. But so this is the inside. This fabric reminds me so much of Liberty, which I love. I got it when I worked at SVT, Swedish television. We had like a small cupboard in the back where there was so much fabric and no one used any of it. So I asked if I could have some. And so I could, and I made a little historical pocket out of it, and then I had some left, so I'll put it on the inside of this. I also made like a little pouch bag just in case you want to have something like your keys or something, and I just have a little snap button like so, and I think it's so cute. Yeah, so this corduroy bag is definitely a huge thumbs up for me. Okay, so the next make is like the make of the month. Like seriously, I have been working on this for so long. It's a winter coat. Usually I draft my own patterns, but for this project I knew I would spend so much time on the decorating and the embellishment, I don't know if you'd say, but the decorating of the coat, so I decided to skip the process of drafting a pattern, then making a toile, then fitting it, and yada yada, and just buying a pattern. And so I got this pattern, It's the McCall's 6800, and I made the View D, this one over here. And this in the corner was sort of a little bit of my inspiration to begin with. I've never used the McCall's pattern before, so I didn't really know what to expect. I actually met a girl in like when I was going to the grocery store, and I saw her wearing a coat that reminded me of this coat. It has a lot of panels at the back. Let me see, it's like 1, 2, 3, yeah, it has 6 panels in the back, and I was like, that coat looks a lot like my coat. And so I told her like, hey, I really love your coat. And then she told me that she made it, and we basically realized that we were making the same coat. And she told me that the sizes were running kind of big, because I think I was going to make a 16 in the beginning, because they sort of match. Well, they don't match. Well, looking at it now, wait, I was gonna make a size 14, that's it. But then I actually decided to go down a size and make a size 12, even though it's smaller than my actual measurements. But I think it worked out pretty well. Okay, let me just get the coat. Here it is! Ah. Oh my god, I'll try not to get lipstick on it. Here's the front. Here is the sleeve. It's a little bit hard to see. I'll also, after I show you the back, I'll put some pictures in right now. And oh, this was a huge project for me. I don't know if you can relate. Oh, I'll just put this in my lap. I don't know if you can relate, but there's just some of those projects that you make that are a huge hurdle. And for me, it was this coat. Like, I had designed this in my head like almost 2 years ago, and I was like, this is the dream coat that I would make for myself. And then I bought the pattern like over a year ago. I started like looking at fabrics, but I just couldn't really find anything that I wanted. And I also tried to stay away from wool, and so that made it really difficult. And it was just like a whole thing of like, when you want to make something that you really, really love, it kind of, you have to build up for it a little bit. And so I started working on it last winter, and I found this fabric. It's from a place called Ada and Ina in the UK. They specialize in sort of linen and cotton fabrics, and it's a super heavy, sort of like upholstery linen. And actually, let me just put this back. And the reason I got it is because I live in Sweden, and our winters are super duper cold. And I wanted something that would literally be like you were in like Siberia or somewhere. I wanted it to be super warm. And so when you hold it, I don't know if you've ever seen or hold like a historical coat, one of those like fur leather type coat from like the 1900s or like around there. I have, and they are super heavy, and my coat is kind of like that. And so that goes to show that it's very warm. I also lined the entire thing with this gray faux fur, and there it is. And it was really one of those things that I am just super happy with how it turned out. Like, I've made so many blog posts about this coat already, so I kind of covered everything, but they are in Swedish. But I'll link the final blog post below. It has all the pictures that I took of the coat, and in that blog post there's also links to all the other blog posts I made. Like, I made a mood board, and then I wrote about the soutache trim, the decorating detail, and the buttons and everything. And I'm so excited that this is finally done, so I can wear it out, because we've had some snow already, so it's really good. But I can say that it has taken a little bit getting used to wearing it out, and will probably I have to like get a little bit more used to it because you do stand out quite a lot in this coat, which, I mean, I love this coat, so I will wear it, but just I have that sort of sometimes with the things I make. It takes a bit of time to sort of getting used to looking like a fairy tale princess in normal public. Yeah. And it's a little bit hard to see, but I'll try and put it on for you so you can see. Oh, and it also has pockets. Woohoo! I used some of the lining fabric for one side, and then the other side I used scrap pieces from my jacket that I made because I didn't want it to be too thick. But I think it looks kind of cute that you have a little bit of the lining sort of peeking out. A couple of things you can't really see here, but it's I mean, I made UD like I said, and it's a little bit short. I mean, it works. It's like right at the knee for me, but I think that I would have liked it also a little bit longer, so that's just something to know. Also, since I put a really thick lining in here, I probably could have gone up a size anyways. Right now I'm not wearing it with like a heavy cardigan, but like you do notice when you wear it with a cardigan that it is a little bit snug. So I think I'll maybe also move the buttons just a tiny bit. The third make is this jersey wrap dress that I made in, I think, November. And this fabric is absolutely gorgeous. Like, this is me in a fabric. It's from a place called Fossan Design, which is a Swedish brand. Well, she designs fabrics. There's some jersey fabrics mostly, I think, but also a little bit of cotton. And this is one of her designs, and it's the folklore print on the blue background. This also comes in red, which I'm like really intrigued by, but this one especially. I mean, just, oh, look at it. And this dress was kind of special to me because I've always wanted a wrap dress. I'll try and insert a clip of me wearing it here. As you can see, it's a little bit low cut. I made it specifically for a party that I was going to, and so for that party it was okay. But I bought like a little cami with a little bit of lace, so it will be a little bit more appropriate to wear like to work and things. But I am so happy with this dress. I have kind of just recently started sewing more with jersey. I've had a sewing machine for a really long time that just could not deal with jersey, and then I got a new one, and now I finally can sew with some jersey. And I've always wanted a wrap dress, but I was a little bit unsure if I would feel too casual wearing a jersey wrap dress, but I really think in this fabric it just works. I think it looks really gorgeous. And I also always like wrap dresses that other people sew, so I was like, hey, I should give it a go. And this kind of, I've had this in my stash since August with the intention of making a dress, but I realized that I kind of bought too little. It's because this fabric was a little bit expensive and I didn't really want to commit to the amount I would need for a dress, so I kind of bought enough for like a top, and then I realized that was what I really wanted to make. And so I can't remember if it was October or November, this Instagram that I follow called siy.sewityourself, they have these monthly sewing challenges that are called Sypeppen, which basically means sewing pep. And the theme was pattern mixing. And so I was like, I made the bodice of it in this fabric, and then I thought that I would go ahead and embrace the theme and also mix with the fabric, because I did mix with the pattern pieces that I self-drafted. But so I thought that I would use a different fabric for the sleeves. And so I ended up using this fabric. It has a blue base, and I think it's supposed to be like pine twigs on it, and this is from a fabric store here in Sweden called Olssons Tyger. And then I just made the top, the little cuff in the same fabric, and I also used I have the blue fabrics for the main part of the ties, and then at the bottom I have the folklore fabric again. And I really think that the mixing of them, the fact that I have the both of them on the sleeve, sort of makes the whole thing work. And oh, it's so comfortable and so pretty, and I love it. I did all of the edges with bias binding, just like simple dark blue cotton one, and I think it really finishes it off really nicely. And so yeah, I will be wearing this a lot once I get that little cami underneath, so I will be a little bit more covered up. Yeah. The last make of the month is my Christmas dress. It's been hanging there in the corner, so you've probably seen it a little bit during the video, but it's this dress right here. And I'll just show you a little bit of this, because first, it's not completely finished. I have a little bit of work to do on the neckline, and then it also has the buttons left. But I will only show you a little bit because I've actually made a whole video about the process of making this dress. I thought it would be really fun to see, also for myself, to see the process I go through when I design something for myself. And I can tell you that it was inspired by, let me see, the McCall's 79-74 that came out like pre-fall, somewhere around there. So stay tuned for that video. But this fabric, well, these fabrics I should say, together are a dream. We made it to the end, woo! Okay, so that was all the makes I have for you this time. Like I said, I will be posting another video soon with the making process of the Christmas dress. And I'm not sure how many of these videos I'll make. I've just been so inspired by everyone here on YouTube making these kind of sewing videos, and I really wanted to contribute to the community, so I thought I'd make a video of my own. And I really hope you liked it and that you liked all of the makes. It was really fun to sort of summarize it all and show you, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!